Dee, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling, I'm thriving. I'm ecstatic. I'm happy. I'm still in shock. I'm overwhelmed with so many different emotions, but all good things, obviously, all good things. Very proud of myself. My family's proud of me. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeling very good.
Well, congratulations on winning Survivor. And I know you've had a little bit of time to think about it now. I know you mentioned that you wanted to make sure that you took care of your parents and they're provided for. Any other thoughts on what you're going to spend the money on?
Oh man, I wish I had a fun answer, but like I'm gonna invest the money. I'm gonna invest the money. I'll probably get like a Jeep or something, not even buy it. I'm gonna lease it. Like yeah, like I'm not trying to spend money. No, because like I have this like deep fear of like losing it because of like how I grew up and stuff and like all of it coming in at once. But yeah, definitely gonna invest it. I'm gonna buy a property for sure. Those will be my investments. So anything I buy will be investments. I'm not trying to buy purses and stuff. Like, no. Yeah. I'm trying to spend this wisely and 10x the money.
Well, that's the way to go. And I come from the same kind of background too, so I can understand how this is such a big surprise and a big change in your life.
Yeah,
Now,
huge.
I spoke to Austin about this, and he was a little tight-lipped about this. Now, of course, fans are going to wonder what's going on with you two. They saw you come together on the show. Do you have any updates for us?
I think my update is the same one that he may have. Yeah, we're keeping it private for now. It's
Right.
it's heavy emotionally and it will continue to be because all of this is like absolutely insane. So I'm sorry that my lips are shut.
Now, looking back on your time on the island, what drew you guys together, like in the first place? Like, what made you gravitate towards Austin?
Well, I always thought he was attractive. So that was like, like physically, I obviously want to be attracted to someone. So I
Right.
always thought he was attractive. And I actually said it in one of my confessionals that didn't make it. I said in my confessionals when they first asked me about him, I'm like, the more bruises and scrapes that he gets, the hotter he gets. Like it's being on the island and like it's so masculine to see like a man all like dirty and like in scrapes and muscular and all of that and like being a badass too. But I think it was just natural. We have a lot of like our core values are the same. Like, we come from good families. Like
Yeah.
he's like hard worker. We view the game the same. Like we view life the same. We were able to have very like emotionally mature conversations. And I think that that's aside from being attractive, like that really is what drew me in. The fact that he was so emotionally like mature and like also funny. Like we would make fun of each other all the time. Yeah.
Well. Now you shared something kind of very similar in common when you're playing the game is you were able to separate the personal from the game, and we saw that at Tribal Council you made him aware of like the couple of deceptions on your end. How was
Yeah.
it? How was it for you making that separation? Because I think you had a lot of trouble, and actually everybody in the Reba had a lot of trouble sending out targeting Julie and sending her out. So how did you make that separation?
I can't tell you how because I still don't know. I just knew that
Right.
I had to because this would be my winning game. If I
Yeah.
don't separate this, I'm gonna lose the game. And like, am I really coming this far just to go this far, right? And
Right.
lose like right before. So it was something of like, all right, D. And before going in the game, and I said it in confessionals, I knew my weakness would be my emotions because I
Yeah.
can feel for people and I get close to people. And like the read before, like I love them like so deeply. Like it transcends Survivor, it transcends like after the game, it's crazy. So I knew that it was gonna happen. And we even had a conversation, the four of us that wasn't shown, and we're like, hey guys, let's stick together. Let's
Yeah.
come at each other eventually. We don't have the number. Let's come at each other eventually, but we're still going to be friends after this. So I think that played a role. The fact that we had that conversation early on, the four of us, and then we were able to just say, hey, we'll respect whatever happens.
Right.
We're good. We're still good.
Now, obviously, when you went on the island and just set to play the game, you weren't intending upon stumble across Austin or have the feelings
Oh,
that you had there. How did that complicate your game? Because again, you mentioned it many times, like I didn't want this, but it's here, so now it's part of my game. How did you move on?
yeah.
How did it complicate things? Like, were you guys worried, or how did that play out?
So I really, to be honest, wasn't worried because First
Right.
of all, it didn't happen until later on in the game. Both our heads were in the game, which I respect a ton. And I'm very glad that we did that. The moment for me where I started to get worried was with Kendra, because this wasn't shown. So we didn't get asked until day 20. Why didn't we get asked until day 20? Because there was nothing to ask about. All they had was hugs and sleeping next to each other. There was no showmance. You can't ask about something that's not a reality, right?
Right.
But then the moment, so Kendra, this wasn't shown, but Drew came up to me, and this is when I first found out that Kendra was talking about Austin and I. She told Drew that I had a crush on Austin. And that's when I was like, oh my God, this girl has to go. She's very perceptive. How did she catch on to this? Right. And then when Julie said that, and now it's two people that say that. So that's when I was like, oh, this is not good. Like, we gotta hide it even better. And also, like, she has to go. So like obviously in the game it shows like, yeah, she's saying my name. She has to go, because I can't tell people like I'm in a showman's, and I also can't tell production I'm in a showman's because I wasn't in a showman's. You know, it was developing, but Austin and I hadn't really like solidified it. We hadn't really talked about it until we had the majority. That's when we were able to like hold hands and not care. Like at this
Yeah.
point, we're like, we got majority, we're holding hands. Okay, our feelings are there, we don't care.
Now we saw, you had the big decision to make at the end of the game of who you were going to send to fire and who you weren't. And did you ever enter your mind to put Austin into fire? And if so, why not?
No, hell no. And it didn't come off my mind to send myself to fire either. Like it was written in stone that Katora and Jake were going. Because first of all, I would not add that to his resume. And that's why,
Right.
like, when you see our scene, we're just laughing about it because, like, he knew that I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? It's playful banter because he knew I'm not stupid enough to put you in fire and beat somebody, whether it's me or somebody else, to add that onto your resume. No thanks. No, 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 no.
And at the final tribal, I mean, you stuck to your guns. You fought really fiercely for your game. Did Austin, in a relationship with him, ever enter into that? Did you pull back a little bit, or you were saying like, I think he respects my game enough to go ahead with this?
Oh no, no, no. So something that wasn't shown was in the last immunity, so the four.
Yeah.
Uh I was telling um oh, it was Jeff. I forgot his name. How did I forget Jeff's name? The hell? I had told Jeff,
That
I
guy.
looked at Jake and I looked at Austin. I was like, I want you guys to come for me. This is gonna be war. Like, if you need to shit on my mother, shit on my mother. Obviously, but I literally said, you're never gonna see a side of me again. Like,
Right.
so I opened that up for them, and I looked at Austin and I was like, we're going at it. Like,
Right.
we're going at it. I don't want you to take it easy on me, because whatever happens, this needs to be earned, not given. Whether you
Right.
win or I win, or Jake, right? But that was like a conversation I was having with Austin. So I knew that he would respect me. Like that, I feel like that's something that he likes about me. The fact that like I am willing to like risk and like go at it, right?
Yeah.
And I also respect that about him. But yeah, I knew that he would respect that, and it's gameplay, it's not personal,
So, yeah.
and he knows that. Yeah, and I know that too. Like had it been vice versa, like yeah, I would have hurt, but I would have understood that it's the game, right?
Yeah.
Like it's $1 million on the line. Yeah.
Now, looking back at your entire game, again, you're great at challenges, fantastic social game, great strategy, a very great, well-rounded player. And I always say that about the best Survivor players. They're well-rounded players at the core. If you had to look back, though, what do you think your weakness was in the game?
That's a great question. Puzzles. Puzzles. Oh my God. Like, did you see that Michelle puzzle? I'm still trying to figure that thing out. Like, I hugged Dawson. I'm like, thank you for putting me out of my misery. So puzzles for sure. Gotta work on that. I would also say it's very easy for winners to like come back and be like, I wouldn't change anything. Like, no, I
Right.
think I would change the fact of how I approached people. Like when I approached, for example, like I had the whole Julie thing when she was the option, right? The Emily blind side. I went up to her, I was like, this is what you're gonna do. Da 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 da. Which understandably this was like 15 minutes before tribal, and like she was
Right.
about to write Austin, so then my game was gonna tank, and I'm here like I am saving that. So I feel like I wish maybe not that one because it ended up being the way I wanted, but it hurt to watch me talk to her like that,
Right.
knowing her, and I love her so much. I would never talk to anyone like that, right? Which again, that was like gameplay, right? But I think
Right.
that that's what I would do differently, the way that I approach people, because it's very it's very normal for me to be very open and transparent with my people. Like I know how to talk to my people. If you want the truth, I'll tell you the truth, whether you
Right?
like it or not. If you're my person, you're my person. I'll be
You get
honest
it.
and open. But it's still Survivor. And Julie and Austin were my blind, like, so I feel like that's what I feel like I would have done better. Like, and then when I told Julie that Austin was my number one too, like I thought it was obvious. So you see, those are things that, there is no perfect game on Survivor. Like
Right.
you're gonna mess up
True.
like one way or another, and that was a huge mess up. Like, and then even after the game, I was like, did you not think it was obvious that he was also my number one? She's like, no. I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, damn, I messed up. I messed up. So
Now,
I think
obviously,
I would
we only get to see a small window of your lives and your journey on the island. Is there anything about your journey that you wish fans would have seen, whether it was a moment, whether it was strategic moment? Is there anything that you wish they would have saw?
I guess I do. You know what? I'm very grateful in the way that I was edited. So grateful. I feel like they showed my funny side, they showed my strategic, they showed my cutthroat, they showed my mean side, they showed my loving side. They really did. Like, I'm so grateful. The only thing I wish was shown a little bit more were my relationships with other people outside
Right.
Reach 4. That's the only thing. But also maybe it would be too obvious if they would have shown that. You know what I mean? Maybe, even though I think they made it pretty obvious though. Oh my god, they made it so obvious, like little hints winner here and there, people talking. I'm like, you guys, I'm here dodging bullets from people asking me, how did you do? I'm like, no, that's just the edit, they're throwing you off. I'm like, damn, they're making it hard for me to keep my mouth shut.
Now it may be soon. This is a big whirlwind for you, and this may be too soon to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If you
Yes.
were asked to go through it and play again, would you play again, Dee? Because I know a lot of winners won't. So
I'm there. I'm there. Survivor changed my life and I love this game. To me, this is fun. It was fun being out there. Yeah, the first 2 weeks not eating, that was not fun. But even then, I'm like, all right, whatever. At least I'm starving on Survivor and I'm playing the damn game. And you know how many people would give the world to play Survivor? Nonetheless, win. Like, this is such an to be asked for a second time is like, wow, I would be honored. But I think it would be even more fun to go back a second time because now you know what to expect. There's, the cameras, like it's very high anxiety out there. Like, you don't see it because you're the audience, but cameras everywhere, microphones everywhere, all the time. Like it's high anxiety every day, sleep deprived every day. But yeah, I would go back tomorrow. Like, even if Jeff calls me tomorrow, come here like in a week, done. Done. I'll start training like right now.
Well, that's wonderful. Again, Dee, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you.
It was wonderful watching you all season. Again, it's always great when you can watch a season where you have a well-rounded player who is, highlighted all those strengths. So congratulations again, and all the best of luck to you in the future, Dee.
Oh, I appreciate you so much. This was a great interview. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dee. Have a great
Happy
day.
holidays. We'll
Enjoy
talk
your
soon.
holidays.
Thank you. You too.
Take care.